Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome
No
back
image
to the disc
available.
swap. What? What are you talking about, Raichu?
On
Unbelievable.
Australia, where I am, no image available.
So, welcome back to the disc swap, everybody. Well, we're on episode 4. Two whole months of doing this show, and Roy, our good buddy here, has put together some incredible stuff for us, freshening up the look a little bit, getting us all nice and pretty. So, how you doing, Raichu?
I'm fine, yeah. I'm just laughing because where my face should be, it's like no image available.
I mean, you gotta do
It's
what
not
you
my
gotta do.
fault. It's not my fault. I did order a camera, it didn't arrive. It's not my fault.
So, this week,
Better the camera's late than I am.
this week we're a little light on topics. I won't lie, but we do have a couple of things to talk about. Raichu, yesterday you actually did a run for Pixels for Peace alongside
Yes.
Iridescence.
That's right. He did a MGS2, and I followed after with a MGS3. And
Yeah.
we had both of you for commentary for each run.
For better or worse, yes.
Good lord. There were some stellar memes came out of those runs, let me tell you. Some
when
some
MGSR
wonderful things.
when MGSR shows up, we show up in style.
We brought the Sergeant General with us. It was a good time. Yeah, but it was fun. I mean, they're doing pretty damn well. They're over, I think, $1,000 at this point
Nice.
for Save the Children, because children are important. We should all save the children. I'm just looking. Yeah, we're over $1,300 at the minute, and it's just the second day, so it's not too shabby.
Yeah.
Some crazy people donated mad money.
So, in case you guys missed it, again, MGS2 followed directly after by MGS3. The MGS2 run was Iridescence running very easy. He did a pretty bang up job. He no particular sticky spots in general aside from Vamp 1.
Jeez. Yeah, Vamp was a bit of a disaster. There was a bit of a let's play when it came to Vamp, but everything else was pretty on the nose. I mean, I don't even think most of it was Iridescence's fault. He was like firing stingers, and they just weren't landing for whatever reason. They were just
he was shooting knives out of the air with missiles.
Yeah,
because apparently
some of the that's a thing.
Heat signature to where the missile wants to lock onto it or something. I don't know, man.
Good lord. But otherwise, it was a good run. I think he finished at like 114 at Solidus, which is pretty good for a no reset. For a marathon environment, no loading trick, no big boss, not game over if discovered, etc. On the PS3 as well, it wasn't on PC. Just in case someone's like 114 on PC. Lol.
Well, and then so MGS2 went okay, and MGS3. How about you talk about that?
Disaster. It was a disaster.
It was.
It was okay. The things that I didn't expect to go wrong went wrong, and things I was expecting to go wrong went good. So that was typical.
Well, I mean, let's break it down a little bit. Your Ocelot unit was fantastic.
Ocelot unit was very nice, and I was actually expecting to have to quickly reset on that, with the fake death pill, which is I love the fake death pill. But no, that was first try, and it was the fast Ocelot unit. Everything went according to plan. While Shia past base went well, I was expecting to trigger claymores. I didn't. That was nice.
Yeah,
Ocelot was also really nice.
Yeah, your Ocelot was really good. Yeah.
I mean, the only real sticky points were the boss wasn't terribly good. I messed up at the start.
The end
Fury.
also.
Oh, and the end. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, funnily enough, my Vamp is about mid game in MGS2, and then when you're running MGS3, that's the mid game is around the end.
Mm-hmm.
So both Iridescence and I had a terrible mid game boss, very casual centric boss, because he just, I think for some reason I threw a stun, and it like went through the end as opposed to hitting him, so that went terribly. But
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise it was fine. You know, the run in general was okay. There was a couple of resets with the fake death pill, but it was, I think on the IGT it was like a 133, which is okay, I guess.
I mean, it's better than I've done so far. So
Yeah, it was underestimate, and that was the main thing. I think it was like 15 minutes underestimate, so that was good. The Fury was okay, and that was something I was quite worried about because the Fury can be the Fury. He can be he can be an arsehole.
but
And
did he feel the fury?
Well, I didn't have to feel any fury, thankfully. Oh, and Rykov. I think that was the worst part.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of expecting that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you jumped the gun a bit on the Rykov grab.
But yeah, we'll pretend that never happened. I'll edit that out of the video. But I mean, otherwise, yeah, it was a pretty nice, and it was a nice time. I like running with Pixels for Peace because they're a cool bunch of guys, and they do good things for Save the Children, which is you should always try and save the children, because I think Iridescence said it better than I could. You know, children are pretty defenseless and quite harmless, so you know, being able to help them out in any situation is a good use of time and energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I can offer a couple of hours of my day to try and help some kids' lives be better, then that's a good use of my time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, it's pretty good. Iridescence was good. Commentary was good. The memes were sublime.
The memes. The memes, Jack.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was fun. And I think it's not it for marathons either, because I think Tyler has a marathon soon, TM. Tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, Tyler tomorrow will be running Airgites, which has been actually featured on the MGSR channel. I think it was during TFA last year, getting ready for AGDQ.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I can't remember, to be honest. But I think you're right, you're right, because the marathons prior to that were all kind of Metal Gear centric, so we didn't actually take any submissions that weren't Metal Gear, but we loosened up a bit for TFA, and we kind of were happy enough to let people who ran a Konami game previously run a non-Metal Gear game at TFA, because obviously GDQ is on a kind of an all-around thing, you know, it's not just a Metal Gear thing. And there was a couple of guys who were going to GDQ who were part of the community that maybe ran other games. It was a nice idea, I think. It kind of helps as well that we can broaden our focus a little bit, these marathons, because it's hard to fill a schedule when it's the same thing a lot, you know? Because, I mean, there's, we'll say, 4 main games, then you have Portable Ops, Peace Walker. I mean, I'm going to just take a wild guess and say there's 10 games you could run.
There's
not ever 10 or 11, 12.
There's a decent amount. The problem is distribution.
Exactly.
Like, we have to double down or triple down on some runs in some cases, just to fill out a full marathon schedule. And you know, having some other ground to tread is refreshing from like a viewer standpoint.
Yeah, because I mean, like in the marathons previously, you would have found a lot of. So we have MGS1 all bosses by X runner, and then in a couple of hours, Y runner is going to run MGS1 any %, and then maybe in a little while longer, it'll be any % PC, which is different. The console any %, but it's MGS1, and we've had that 3 times now. And MGS2 kind of runs the same way, and there's not a lot of people who run the other games. I think the most popular are MGS1 and MGS2. The rest of them kind of fall to the side a little bit, and there isn't too many people with a vested interest one way or the other. I mean, you know this better than anyone. I mean, you're probably the only active person at the minute for MPO.
Yeah.
You know, Peace Walker is mainly just Mini these days. Well, you and Mini, I guess, with your co-op shenanigans. What else is there? Yeah, you know what I mean. Acid. Yeah. Oh God, acid.
I mean, we could do acid, not on stream, but but no, we could definitely have someone run acid and have that be like a day.
Couchman has a. Is it Couchman? Is that what that guy's name is?
Couchman Casino Coin, same guy.
Yeah, so I think he wrote, was it New Game? And Coppers at the minute he's writing New Game Plus. So
yeah.
There's been some Metal Gear Acid dealings and what have you. Release the submissions list. No, never. Never. Soon, Apache, we will soon. But not right now. Yeah, because of course we are holding a fundraising marathon for Python, and we won't talk too long about it. We won't embarrass him. But he's ran into some trouble, and we don't let friends struggle in MGSR. You know, we're a welcoming community. Especially for long-time members such as Python. But that's the 3rd to the 5th of May. So submissions have opened, but it will take a while for us to draw up a schedule and stuff. I think the idea is to have a schedule by the end of the month? Question mark? Well, yeah, that would have to happen because yeah, I think hold on, I just have to look at a calendar so I can. Yeah, so I think the idea is we're hoping to have the schedule on the 29th or thereabouts, and then the marathon would start on the Friday, on the 3rd of May, and run through to the 5th. So, very soon. It's quite short notice, we're aware of this, but it was an idea that Essence came up with, and everyone was happy with it. So we're working hard in the background to get set up for that. We hope to see you there. It'll be on this channel, naturally. I think actually, hold on a second. Yeah, that. Okay, so that wouldn't be a week we were doing the podcast anyway. So that's fine. That's fine. I was going to say, if we were, that would obviously be postponed to the week following, but no, we're good. But yeah, so we're not sure what's there yet, of course. We're just still working on the submissions. What was I going to say? Yeah. But
yeah,
we'll know soon. Of course, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. Keep up to date. Maybe make a submission if you feel like it. You know, it doesn't have to be a Metal Gear submission.
Yeah, and if you got any friends, go ahead and reach out to them.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yeah,
write a letter to your uncle, and phone your gran. So tell everyone.
Just
write your local congressman, like Roy said.
So yeah, that's gonna be happening. You're Apache, please. Yeah. So we do actually have some maybe not breaking news, but we have news about MGS1 that we can talk about a little bit here. MGS1 PC, as it turns out, we can avoid crashing. So both PC ports have ways now of avoiding losing runs to crashes.
Thank God. The funny thing is with MGS1, it wasn't even something that we had to wait for like an update fix or whatever, because obviously if we talked, I think it was the last episode, we talked about MGS2's the 5's fix, sorry, thing, that the like all-in-one fixing package that helps with all these nasty crashes and stuff.
Yeah.
But MGS1, it was a solution we could have used all along. It was just a case of simply just switching to what's it called? What's the word?
We add another core to its core affinity.
Yes. Sorry, my mind is not technical sometimes. But yeah, so that's all we had to do. Simple,
Yeah,
but
it's a really simple fix, and according to everyone I've talked to about the fix here, says it works. I've used the fix myself, but I've never really crashed in the first place. So, I mean, I guess I'm just really lucky when it comes to crashes because like PC crash for MGS2, the credits freeze never happened to me. I crashed very rarely in MGS1. I mean, apparently you guys just need to get good.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, being able to stop crashes, because I mean, nobody likes a run to fail to stuff dying.
Yeah,
Like it's not nice. It's
yeah,
very unfortunate. So to be able to fix it so easily is pretty good. Um, it it makes people happy, makes runners happy,
yeah,
saves your run. Because I mean, if you lose a run to something you can't. And I think MGS1 PC especially was really weird. It was kind of like if you held X to skip cutscenes, too many cutscenes in a row, the game just freaked out and crashed
yeah.
because modern PCs are too fast, pretty much. Which is really annoying and unfortunate. But I was it Glenn that found it? I don't think it was Glenn. I think it was Glenn in collaboration with someone else.
Underwater Smoking, I believe, and Glenn.
Yes. So they kind of worked together and they figured out, hey, if you give the game another CPU core, it doesn't lose its freaking mind when you when you hold X to skip cutscenes, which is obviously the how we skip cutscenes on console, because console is whatever. It's obviously not nearly as fast as a PC, so the game doesn't like lose its tiny mind, um, which is very nice,
Yeah,
of course. But I don't know, these are all good things. But
yeah,
yeah. So if you want to run MGS1 PC, you can do it crash free. Sorry, I'm in the middle of doing two things at once, so I'm sort of distracted. So I'll let you talk for a second.
I mean, like I said at the top of the show, we're kind of this week we're a little light on topics. Unfortunately there's not quite a lot happening around the community to talk about. Um,
It's been a
but
quiet little time, hasn't it? Huh?
yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay.
This is
People,
fun.
this fine. People have to take time to to build themselves up
Yeah.
to do something
Somebody
truly
needs,
incredible.
somebody needs to just
This is
call.
your guys' cue. Do something incredible. We'll talk about it. We'll lose our minds and talk about it.
Come on. Why you're making me work for it, dude? Come on.
So, yeah, Apache Smash in chat has a very good point. ESA. Currently they are actually doing the TwitchCon showcase for ESA, and they're also simultaneously running submissions for ESA Summer. Jag, Draco, and Apache are all submitting MGS titles, as well as Danflesh, who is submitting MGS5. So that's something to look forward to.
Oh, so we're getting some cool new submissions. What a world we live in, dude.
But yeah, ESA. Speaking of Save the Children, ESA also benefits that organization.
Yeah, but my marathon is better. That's not true. Any marathon's a good marathon. But so it's Draco, Jag, and Apache all submitting to ESA. And ESA is not really a place where you hear much from the Metal Gear side of things. I think the last person to be there was Metza with
Yep.
MGS5. Chapter 1, 80%, or whatever the category's called now. And that was, God, that was 2 years ago now, I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't think it was last summer. I think it was the summer before. I can't even remember. Nightmare. But yeah, so hopefully, because I think Jag was talking about submitting to ESA for a long time because Mrs. Jaguar and Mr. Jaguar are, I think he mentioned going on a holiday or something in Europe, so he kind of took that opportunity because, of course, getting from America to Sweden is prohibitively expensive. So Metza was winter 2018, so it was only last year. God, time flies by.
It's actually less time than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's that's like 6 months ago. Unless do ESA do crap? Do ESA like
that would have been January of last year or February.
Oh, okay, right. I was gonna say surely it wasn't that short a time ago. So it's only like a year ago. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Okay, and Apache just mentioned 1, 2, or 3 have never actually been ran at ESA. Really?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't think I've ever seen any of those games at ESA.
Jeez, dude. Crazy.
That being said, there's actually both Jag and Draco submitted MGS1. Jag on console with all bosses extreme, and Draco for PC with any percent easy. So, and again, like I said, Dan Flesh running or submitting MGS5 Chapter 1 any percent. So, and I believe Apache was also looking at submitting MGS1. So ESA is kind of spoiled for choice for MGS1 runners right now.
Yeah, so, and I mean, Draco hasn't actually ran MGS1 in quite some time, so it'll be nice to get somebody back into doing it, and I mean, getting back into it in a big way as well, Yeah. So it's nice. Obviously, the more people who are active in the community and running, it's always good. I felt like I was going to say something else after losing. Yeah, so hopefully these guys, somebody gets in. Maybe all of them get in. That'd even be nicer.
That'd be something.
Be incredible, dude. We could have the trifecta. MGS1, 2, and 3. Oh, what a world we live in. I'll get someone. Maybe get someone to learn 5 enough to do couch commentary. So you plan to submit as well, Metza, or because Metza, if I'm not mistaken, you're pretty close to ESA's venue anyway. So, oh, he's not. Okay, might. Well, you should. Yeah, so it's not. It's nice to see the community alive and what have you.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so ESA Summer happening in July. 1 month after SGDQ, roughly thereabouts. And
SGDQ soon as well. It kind of went out of my mind entirely just because none of our guys are there, so I was like, whatever.
Well, we'll be there. It's just not running.
Well, yeah. I know there's a group of you guys going. I think they're also doing parachute jumping or something. So let's talk about doing that. That would be interesting. An airborne podcast.
And producer Roy also has a special surprise for several of the attendees.
Ooh.
I'm not saying anything. I know what it is. I'm not saying a word. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, don't spoil the surprise live on air.
But yeah,
MGSR Halo jump. This is one for the history books.
But in terms of like online marathons, we're spreading the word. We're spreading the holy word of MGS. Between Pixels for Peace yesterday, Hoot Fest, all sorts of events going on. Hackathon happening in about 2 weeks now, which I have not practiced nearly enough for. actually,
that's the way, isn't it?
I mean, that's not true. I've been doing some Tsuchinoko attempts, trying to get the single segment on MPO for the last several weeks now. And I mean, it's serving as pretty good practice. So for those who may not be aware, MPO has a ranking system much like every other main MGS game. It's basically a perfect zero run, basically like a Foxhound rank, except in MPO it also rates you based on how many people you've recruited during the run or during the game. And in the speed run, we recruit a total of 3. And for actual top ranks, you need to capture 100, which is actually filling out your entire base. We don't got the time for that. So the highest rank we really go for in speedruns is Tsuchinoko, which is the second highest rank on both normal and extreme.
It's basically the same as Foxhound, as far as I'm aware. You just don't have to collect 100 soldiers, you know, which is no small task.
I mean, Minnie and I spoke about it not too long ago, and I think it was in preps for the co-op submission for Peace Walker. Actually, we were talking about MPO a little bit, and we were trying to come up with like sufficient farm spots to get the requisite 100. And we're not really sure whether it would be faster to get to a small map with fewer soldiers, but less travel within the map, or a bigger map with more soldiers. We're not really sure. But
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think it would just be a real tall order to expect you to collect 100 soldiers while also, you know, you can't get any alerts, any kills, any continues. You can't use healing items either, I'm pretty sure. Or can you?
I don't know. Healing items aren't counted on the stat screen.
Oh, okay.
No kills, no alerts, no continues, no.
Kind of standard big boss stuff, you know.
Yeah, no mission restarts either.
Oh, even oh dear. God, they really make it. Oh well, I guess that makes sense because I mean, if you got an alert, you could just restart the mission and keep going.
Yeah.
Be a cheeky bastard, but
thankfully, entering a mission and exiting out of it doesn't count against you, because otherwise the speedrun would be that much more frustrating.
Oh, could you imagine?
But yeah, no, that's been my thing for the last several weeks, has been trying to get that done. So yeah, I guess you could say I've been practicing.
Yeah.
The furthest I've been with the Tsuchinoko intact is like 4 missions out, and I got spotted by one random jerkwad, like not even in the critical path. Which that's kind of the way of it.
There's always something.
There's always something.
But you'll get it soon though, because I mean you've been going mad at this, working hard.
Yeah, several in the range of like the upper 30s probably offline attempts, plus quite a few online on stream. Yeah, it's an adventure. It'll get done. I'll do it. But I have received word from Plywood that there is something that has happened that is fairly important. It's a pretty good milestone that we have completely forgotten about, unfortunately. And that is Tromboncino achieving the first sub-hour.
Oh God, yeah.
The first sub-hour any percent IGT by Tromboncino in MGS1. Which, that's pretty incredible. I haven't watched the run myself, so I can't really say what all went into that. But Tromboncino, if you're not aware, is
crazy.
A lot. Yeah, sure, we could go there. He's crazy, but
he's definitely one of those runners, you know. He's
he's been the driving force of MGS1 like strat finding over the last couple of years. Pretty much since since before the MGS1 tournament last year.
I mean, Trom, I think he said he's been playing this game since it launched, and I think that's true for a lot of the speedrunners. But I think one of the main differences between a lot of us and Trom is Trom never stopped playing, and it was kind of played a lot since it launched. You know, where I mean, I've played a lot of Metal Gear Solid 2, for example, but it definitely wasn't every day, and sometimes I'd go months without playing it. You know, but I mean, he kept kind of consistently playing it and getting better and better. And I mean, Trom's hit a lot of firsts when it came to MGS1. I mean, he was the first person to get a sub 40 on any percent extreme, which, you know, is ridiculous. Now he's the first to get a sub hour any percent easy, which even a couple of months ago was thought impossible, you know. But Trom's a crazy boy.
Yeah,
but he's crazy good.
He has done other games, other speedruns. He's done a lot of work for those as well. But at the same time he does all that, he's still playing like MGS1 a fair amount. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just Trom is mad, and he's optimized MGS1 a lot in his pretty short time. In MGSR, I mean, he hasn't been here this long.
Yeah, he's been here since, I want to say, a couple of months before the MGS1 tournament, which happened, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was around October of last year.
Yes, it was just before the tournament. Before the tournament started. I think those were in December, kind of winter time.
Yeah, the MGS2 tournament was in December.
I can just remember. Trom was, for a long time, he was playing on emulator because he either didn't have a console or a capture card. And I mean, Trom was getting times on MU on all bosses that I can remember kind of gave some people a bit of pause and a slight suspicion. It's just like, how is he doing this? You know, is he using? I think at one point there was confusion, and maybe he had one of his settings configured incorrectly that gave him like faster loads or something, because he was doing things that we didn't even think were possible to do, you know. And then he got a PS TV, and then, well,
I mean, if you all remember, if anyone remembers how that tournament we keep referencing, how that ended, Plywood versus Tromboncino in the finals, coming down to literally the rate at which they mashed through the final codec.
Like, oh yeah, definitely.
That was that was a really intense race, and up until that point, Plywood was the favorite. Plywood was the one we knew who was doing a lot of work for MGS1, and then Tromboncino entered that tournament, and like all of the MGS1 guys knew him, but no one else really did. And at this point, Tromboncino is basically a household name for MGSR.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, a lot of the MGS1 guys knew him, and I remember, for me at least, I was afraid. Because I went into a race with Trom that I just knew I was going to lose, you know. And I know we always say, you know, a race can go any way. I mean, I could race any one of the MGS2 runners, and then who knows? I might lose, I might win. It's hard to say. But I went into that race against Trom. I was like, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose quite because it's Tromboncino. And I remember, I think Tyler's first match in that tournament was against Tromboncino, and it's like, you just couldn't get any worse. Look, that to be put right up against him. And I even remember like he beat me, but I think something went wrong. I think my capture card crashed and then
Oh
my
yeah.
internet died. And I just remember Trom, instead of just saying, yeah, I won, whatever, he was like, yeah, I won, but I don't feel like I won because technical shit caused the forfeit. He's like, that doesn't feel good to me. And I was like, damn, this guy.
He's he's
Somebody,
he's he's a world class act.
yeah, he's just a gentleman, and I mean, I'd love to. Racing against Trom is a lot of fun. Even if I get my ass kicked, it's still fun to race against him and just to watch him and all of the different stuff he does. And I mean, now he's been routing out blindfolded all bosses, which is a sight to see. Let me tell you.
And let's not forget what he said shortly after that tournament was that he wanted to run MGS2 keyboard.
Mouse. Yeah, he was going to use an external program to mod in mouse controls.
Yeah.
Because he refuses to play a third-person shooter, which basically is what MGS2 is. He refuses to play that on a controller, and he's still sticking to that. He hasn't learned MGS2 because he can't get mouse controls working, and he won't play a third-person shooter on a controller. He won't play. He won't use the first-person shooting and stuff.
I mean,
an analog stick.
So here's the thing, right? if the controls were actually kind of decently mapped, it would make sense.
Yeah. Well, his idea was he was going to map him his own way, which he's done with MGS1. I mean, I think he's one of the only runners, or if not the only one. I'm not sure. I think Glenn might use a PC. He might use keyboard solely on PC, but Trom was the only one who was always using who was only using keyboard when he ran PC. He didn't switch from controller to keyboard like some of them, like some of the other runners do.
No, because obviously Glenn uses both.
Yeah, so when you're using PC, you do need the keyboard for the hotkeys, the weapon hotkeys. But Trom solely uses keyboard. End of story. I mean, even on emulator, I think he prefers to use a keyboard as opposed to using a controller. So he's definitely one of those kind of die-hard keyboard and mouse game players, which is fair. I know a lot of them. I know some people just can't play on a controller. It just makes them feel sick. But he's a crazy boy, frankly.
Yeah. Sub hour, any percent easy on console, which is a very important qualifier for MGS1. So Raichu, I don't do too much with MGS1 console. What exactly goes into the any percent run?
Well, main thing on console is the weapon glitch. You really want that to go well. If it doesn't, it's usually the end of a good run, and especially on extreme, it can lead to big trouble because the weapon glitch, the short example, anyway, I'm not really going into full detail on it, is damaging Snake, pressing a lot of buttons, and hoping that you make a weapon act like another. So in the tower, the idea is you break the stinger, remove it from your inventory, so you can skip the Otacon cutscene and just go ahead up the tower, skip the hind. But to cause damage to Snake, the only easy way of doing it is, in the tower at least, is with grenades or C4. And explosions can hurt your health quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of mess up the weapon glitch a lot, it's not only time loss, but it's also, it can cause you trouble with your health. Then there's the box drop. Now I know Trom as well, especially with some help from Plywood, the two of them kind of work together to try and make a more consistent setup for both those glitches. And Trom took a couple of things from the PC route in terms of using grenades on Raven to try and incorporate little skips like the Nikita skip into console, and those are the kind of cumulative little time saves that have kind of led to being able to have a sub-hour
Right.
console run, because I at one point the idea of it even was just silly, you know. And I mean, never mind getting a sub hour on easy. I mean, Trom has a sub 102 on extreme, which was also kind of looked at and said, no, that's not possible. We can't do that, you know. He showed, well, yes, you can. And I know there was some speculation that maybe Trom's loads were faster because he uses the adrenaline emulator on PSCV. Because, I mean, a 101 anything on extreme, any percent is just ridiculous. But no, it's just a nice run, a lot of optimization, and I mean a lot of Trom's movement as well. When you watch him, it's just so refined and so clean. You know, it's a very nice experience to watch Trom play MGS1, because you're watching somebody with some real talent.
Oh yeah.
At that game, I'd be kind of worried if he ever picked up another Metal Gear game that I ran anyway. do one of the ones I don't run. Them are okay, but just stay away from the ones I like. Just don't do MGS2 or 3, please. Or an MGS5. That's on PC. You can use keyboard and mouse.
There you go.
But no, I mean, there's two people. That's one of the more well, I mean, the two modern runners, and air quotes when I say that. I'm trying to think of a better word, but I can't. That have put a lot of their time and effort in the MGS1 will be Plywood and Tromboncino, and I think it's the cumulative efforts from both those guys that have led to the milestone of having a sub-hour any percent run. I mean, Plywood's at the minute, he's working on a lot of tutorials and things for MGS1, any percent.
And for a hot minute there, I believe they were actually trading back the time on the way to the sub-hour, and just Tromboncino just got there first.
I think they were both going for it, and I think Trom was actually had gotten really close in one run that he accidentally, I think he screwed up Liquid a little bit. I kicked him too early or something like that. I can't remember. But well, that's another thing about any percent is box execution, because it's such a short run. I mean, it's less than an hour at this point.
Right. Yeah.
15 minutes is stuff you can't really do anything. Well, no, not 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes are very kind of straightforward. I mean, you have 2.5 minutes in the docks. You can't make that go faster. You sit in the cell for 5 or 6 minutes. You can't make that go faster. You have to heat up.
You can avoid it going slower at the very least.
Yeah, fair point. But then you have the PAL keys, which is, I want to say, about 10, 15 minutes. Back and forth. You can't really make that go faster. You can certainly slow it down, but it's that kind of a fixed pace, you know?
Yeah.
And then really, aside from that, you have some bosses to deal with. You have the weapon glitch, the box drop. Those are all things that have to go really well. Then you have Liquid and the escape. So there's the main optimizations kind of come from good menuing, item management, and your item routing, and your bosses. You know, the few that you actually fight. Because you only fight Raven, Liquid, and Rex. You only fight 3 bosses, but those have to go flawlessly if you want like a very nice time. Oh, and it helps to have a PS TV as well.
Yeah, like MGS1 any percent, either PC or console, doesn't matter. But MGS1 any percent is a real show of how the tiny optimizations can really actually matter. It's
exactly
pretty incredible.
And yeah, the rat, another thing you can't really control. The rat can be a bastard. Any MGS1 runner will tell you about the rat.
My favorite is when the rat's not there at all.
We actually have specialized counselors in MGSR just to deal with the nightmares that the rat gives people. That's a real thing. You know, because some people just need rat PTSD. It's a real problem. It's not something to joke about. It's a serious thing. Please donate. Pay our counselors. You know, It's you can have a really nice run and then just the rat just takes that all away. Sorry, son, you're done. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing at all. So, lordy, and of course, there's also what's it called? There's a word. I'm trying to think of what the word. Mashing codecs. That's another.
Yes.
Big thing. And I mean, as we said earlier, that cost a race at one point, or rather, it won a race.
Yeah.
At one point. And obviously on PC, it's nice you don't have to mash codecs.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. You don't quite get that on you don't quite get that on console. You do have to mash them all, which is no fun at all.
I mean, I've said this before, but it's worth repeating. If we could have a game that had MGS1 PC concessions with the lack of backtracking from Twin Snakes, it would be the perfect speedrun.
Oh yeah,
in terms of like a Metal Gear game, it would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if we could, that'd be wonderful. But unfortunately, that's not always. We don't always get our way. Sometimes we have to have it. Sometimes we just have to have it a different way, which is no fun. But that would be like perfect speed game, honestly. Because of course, if you're not familiar with the Twin Snakes, they were kind enough, maybe that's the word to use, I'm not sure, to get rid of the backtracking. You don't have to go back and heat up the keys. They have like pipes, hot and cold pipes. You just drop down and heat up the pipe, and it's a great time. Or heat up the card from a pipe.
Yeah.
But no such luck in MGS1. You don't get to be spoiled with such luxuries.
Yeah. Sounds about right. That being said, MGS1 is a pretty fantastic speedrun for it being the first of the 3D series. I mean, it holds up. It holds up really well.
Oh, it does for sure. I mean, it's a very old game, obviously, but it does do quite well, which is nice.
I mean, it did just turn 20 last September. It's almost MGS1 is almost legally able to drink in America.
It's almost able to go out and have a drink with the boys. A couple of cold ones. Some cold ones with the boys. Not quite yet. Soon though. Soon.
Yeah, another 5 months. Go take your local MGS1 disc out on a night on the town.
It won't need any ID. Just show them the back of the box. Made in 1998. Yeah, seems good. But no, MGS1 is a fun game. Should learn MGS1.
Yeah,
MGS1 PC. Everyone should learn that. It's easy. Well,
I feel like every one of these shows we evangelize for a different run. Except for me, I'm always going to say learn MPO. Just learn MPO.
Yes. Easy. What are you doing? Just learn it. Stop wasting my time and just learn it. Damn it.
But we've advertised to learn MGS1 now. MGS2. You're the MGS3 guy.
Yeah, learn MGS3. Actually, you know what I said about learning MGS1? Ignore that. Learn MGS3. That's a better game.
At some point, we're eventually going to, by process rather of elimination, we're going to have to advertise that someone learn MGS4.
Yeah, maybe if we get Sergeant Silent on here one day, he'll do that. But
I mean, okay, so I've some people may know I'm the idiot that does anthology runs, and even then I'm hesitant to learn MGS4. Like that's the next one on the list, and I've been just putting it off.
Yeah, no, I'd rather not. Thanks. Oh God, no. I
Yeah, Metza wants me to do it so I can get to MGS5 and suffer pitch dark warp.
yeah. That. Oh God. I've heard those guys talking about that, dude. It's oh dear. No thanks. No, no. I'll just stay well away from all of that nonsense. But you should learn the game that you want to learn.
There you
Don't
go.
let us tell you. Don't let us tell you what to do. Don't listen to us. You know, except learn MGS3. Please, I'll pay. I'll pay. Just do it.
And so we actually do. We have one last item that we haven't actually mentioned, and it's actually resuming directly after the show here. The MGS2 Rays tournament that started last week. European Extreme Rays.
Oh
Which
yeah, crap. I forgot all about that.
oh no,
Oops.
you got to be ready for your showdown with who you got? You got Tyler, I think.
Yeah, I believe I am. Yeah, against Tyler. Should be fine though. I think.
You think?
Well, we'll see. It either will be or it won't be.
Just beat Tyler. It's easy, forehead.
Yeah, just don't die. I mean, like I was saying, I said to Lions yesterday, even if it all goes to hell, so long as I don't die, I'm happy. If I don't die, happy enough.
Yeah, dying is not recommended. Take it from me. I died twice.
Yeah, no, it's generally a bad time, but I'll figure it out.
Metal Gear Rays, Raiden dies twice.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. No, but I think then it's Tyler and I think Limes and Platonic guy.
Yes.
That I will be interested in.
If I've got the bracket right, yeah, Platonic guy is up against Limes. In fact, I can take a quick peek somewhere. There it is. Yes, Platonic guy and Limes.
So that'll be a real interesting one because Limes, I think, is dude has practiced more Rays than anybody else at this point.
Yeah, we talked about it last show where he and I had a bit of a head to head for like 2 hours on normal Rays.
Yeah, Limes is just crazy though. I mean, Jesus Christ. If ever I've seen someone do Rays, like I've never seen anyone do it like Limes, to be honest.
Yeah, Limes has definitely put in the work. Definitely.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he spent more time on Rays than I think anything else at this point. Which is hilarious, to be honest.
So we're talking about the tournament. What kind of spurred you guys on to the idea of running a tournament for this?
To be honest, I can't even remember what happened there. I think Limes just came out with the idea and was like, "Hey, why don't we do a Rays tournament?" And I was like, "What the fuck are you asking me, boy?" It's like, what kind of idea is this that you have? But the more I thought about it, it's like, yeah, this is actually a cool idea. Like, how would this? So it was kind of like, how does this work exactly? Explain this to me. And he came up with some rules, came up with some ideas, and was like, well, we could do it this way or whatever. And we were just eventually like, okay, yeah, let's try it, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I back about a year and a half ago. I think it was shortly after the MGS2 tournament where I kind of had the thought to do the Ray IL board And
Yeah, I think that's mainly what started all of this as well.
I was trying to figure out a way to get more ILs added as boards because I don't know about I don't know about you guys, but I'm a fan of ILs. You know,
ILs are great, dude.
yeah, I run a lot of Peace Walker ILs occasionally. Tanker is one of my favorite things to do to just waste some time, just run tanker a few times. And yeah, no, like the Rays idea came to me, and I don't know, it just felt like a natural fit. Like it you have a nice decent loading screen before the fight starts to where you can set your timer to get going, and it's easy enough to slap your timer button when you're done with the last one, and it just works. And I'm happy it's taken off in such a way to where we have like a tournament for racing it, because I mean the race is legitimately one of my favorite parts of the game, especially on European Extreme. It's so hectic.
Yeah, it's like there's few things that that kind of like level so much excitement as like Euro Extreme Race, because it's like a huge juggling act. You know, you're trying to deal damage, trying to keep them in good positions, because I mean the Rays can be the Rays, you know, and they can screw with you a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's like you're trying to balance like a million things at once, and the biggest one, trying to keep the fear that comes with battle situations. The fear knowing that like that kind of stress, not fear, I don't think fear is the right word. I think stress would be a better word. That like if you get hit, you die.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Just don't get hit. No forehead, just don't get hit. You know?
But did he feel the fury?
So yeah, I felt the fury at Rays a couple of times. Let me tell you. But yeah, because there's like you could have 3 Rays at any one time trying to murder you, trying to hurt you. They want you dead. There's no two ways about it. So it kind of yeah, like I'm just saying, you know, the biggest thing is you need to know what to do when things are going. You need your contingency plans and your backups. And when you're learning the Rays, you don't know those backups or contingency plans. I mean, God, I remember learning the Rays and I could barely get past the first 4 because they just do things and I didn't know how. What do I do? Like, you know, how do I stop them trying to kill me? But you don't stop them. That's the thing. Yeah, they don't screw around. You know, they just want you dead. And I mean, if you let things get out of hand, it just makes your life a lot more difficult, because when they start spamming you with missiles, oh Jesus Christ! No, I need a minute.
It's definitely something. Like, so like for those uninitiated, I guess I can walk you through a little bit. The Rays, they start fairly simply. You know, there's 3 right in front of you. They're off the stage. If you hit them in a certain pattern, they won't even attack you. But once you get them down low enough, once you get one down to about a third of its health bar, it's going to jump up on the stage and start trying to trample you. And that's when the fight really starts. And you have to keep in mind your distance from the Ray on stage. You have to pay attention to where the Rays off the stage are. You have to pay attention to at least 3 health bars at a time, sometimes less. You have to pay attention to your
Sometimes
ammo
less.
count.
Never more.
No. But you have to pay attention to your ammo count. You have to pay attention to just so much.
And the rare but deadly occurrence when the bastards can attack you when they're dead.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Or when they can decide water cannon you off stage, which shouldn't happen, but it sometimes does. or when you fire a missile and it just doesn't do damage, which is great. Or what I've seen Tyler do a few times when he hits one in the mouth and kills himself.
Yeah, and what Lime says in the chat is absolutely correct. Once you get one down to a pretty low health, or the one, if you have two off stage, the one with the lower of the two, will be the ones jumping up, and you can use that to your advantage because once the game chooses who's next up, you can kill that one while it's still off stage, and you can get a couple of extra shots safely against the next one down the line.
Ideally, but sometimes even that one will still attack you, even though it's dead. It shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't think the game was ever programmed to like cope with that idea that a Ray is dead and on stage, you know, because I guess the idea of the fight was, you know, you'll attack one Ray at a time, but that's a clusterfuck generally because
that's also inviting a lot of variables in the form of missiles.
Maybe just missiles. a lot of missiles. A lot of missiles. Yeah, because I mean, the thing about it is, if you leave a Ray untouched for too long, then they start getting testy and they start firing missiles. So you basically have to like level damage at all the Rays all the time because you can't let one sit still for too long, because if it's still for too long, then it attacks. It's like, oh no. Then once it gets into that kind of cycle of attacking, you have to just try and attack it while also dodging its missiles, while also probably dodging the Ray on stage, doing machine guns or water cannons or whatever the hell it's doing, and it can get out of control very, very fast, and that's a scary time, let me tell you.
Yeah, one of the very interesting things actually that I noticed when I first learned how to kind of manage the European Extreme Rays is that when the game chooses a Ray to come up on the stage, it kind of shifts the camera to kind of face that Ray a little bit better, and depending on where that camera is, like it will always focus on the Ray on stage no matter what. So if you've got Rays on the other side of the stage past the one on stage, like with you with the Ray on stage between you and it rather, that will always try to attack you if it can. So like it works kind of like old school karate movies, you know, attack one at a time, never attack from off camera. So that's another thing. Like if you're just starting out, you can take advantage of that and try to position yourself just keeping it safe and dealing with the one on stage plus maybe one other one.
Because you kind of always want to. The fight is kind of set up nicely that if you level an attack to the Ray on stage, there's enough recovery time that you can hit another one off stage, and you just kind of go back and forth like that as much as you can, with the intention to deal as much damage as possible, because the fight doesn't end after you defeat a certain number of units. It's health bars. It's 20 health bars. So you want to be always doing damage all around you, not just to avoid getting murdered, but to finish the fight as fast as you can.
Yeah. So yeah,
basically it's a stressful fight.
Rays can be evil, but honestly, it's a big skill check, and that's I think what I like most about it.
Yeah, I mean it tests your patience a lot as well, especially when you're learning the fight, you know, because you know we often hear for MGS2 tanker hell, but there's also the little known, no one really mentions it, the Ray hell, which is just as bad, because I mean after a certain amount of deaths, if you kind of die a couple of times in a row, you can find yourself becoming very frustrated and very impatient. And it's when you start making these little mistakes, and it's the little mistakes that cost you more than the big ones usually. And you stop when you kind of start to lose your focus a little bit. That's, oh god,
yeah,
I'm just getting triggered just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me last week, because I lost my focus and I waited a second too long to get back to the guy on stage, and I just got water cannon in my face. And that's that. There's no coming back from it.
No, and I mean the water cannon is just I mean, the thing about it is that their attacks are more or less predictable, but sometimes you just can't expect it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's been times where I haven't been expecting some knee missiles and I turn around and, oh crap, there's knee missiles are coming. Send help.
Oh, the best is when you turn back to the Rayon stage and it's just standing there, not doing anything, just standing perfectly still, and you know exactly what's about to come after that.
Yeah, because they kind of, before an attack, they tend to just, well, it depends on the attack. Before missiles, they just stand still and they just stare at you. Before a water cannon, they like lean back, and that's when they're like opening their mouth to destroy you. So that they telegraph their attacks, but the thing is, if you just turn around and you just see him standing there, you just have to like, how long has he been standing like that? Do I roll now? What do I do? You find your life flashing before your eyes, because knee missiles aren't too hard to dodge, but it's more of a timing thing. You can't dodge it too early, but you kind of have to think quickly. Like, do I have time to shoot him to stop the knee missiles, or do I have to get ready to dodge? Because it's like, oh no.
Well, the interesting thing about the knee missiles is that if you're targeting the knee and if you're just slightly too late, you will end up destroying one of the missiles, which actually helps you out dodging it anyway.
Yeah,
so
true. But as well, even if you dodge too early, because the way they kind of come in like a half circle and they come in toward you, so you want to dodge it like the very last second, but a little bit too late, and you're dead. Too bad for you, but a little bit too early, and they're gonna come for you. Oh god, I have to stop talking about this now. I'm getting worried.
Yeah, you don't want to psych yourself out. You don't want to psych yourself out before the big race against Tyler coming up here just after the show. By the way, we're gonna be as soon as we wrap up here, we're gonna take a few minutes for an intermission to get everyone set up and ready to go, and we'll be pretty much changing gears immediately into that. So we got a day for you today.
Here I think we do need a community counselor, Roy. I think we need a raise counselor, frankly, or more like a raid consoler to console the runners. But I find they never screw with you as bad as when you're on like big boss pace. That's when they really get bad. You know, they start misbehaving.
Yeah.
But raise. A golden retriever stress tongue. Oh dear.
So Raichu, before we wrap up, anything any final comments you might have?
Yeah, go watch Pixels for Peace after this raid tournament, dude, and donate to save the children. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
And tell Mannix I promoted it, so he doesn't give out to me, doesn't fire me. So and of course, obviously, stay tuned for the race tournament. Join back again in a few weeks for the marathon. Submit to the marathon. Write a letter to your uncle, as I said earlier. Phone your nan, let her know. Tell your mum and your dad. Your big sister, if you have one. Your big brother will do also. Tell your friends in school. Tell your workmates, etc.
Just shout it from atop the jungle gym in your local elementary school and hope to not get carted off too soon.
Yeah, do that. But age dependent, if you're above the age of 21, don't do that because you might go to prison. But if you do, let your soulmate know. Let him know to submit. We're not a prejudiced bunch in MGSR. We're an equal opportunities marathon. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Oh god, I've been on the internet for too long. Between yesterday and today, restreaming all day yesterday. Marathon runs, podcasts. Oh dear, I'm losing my tiny mind.
Well,
but yeah, definitely submit to the marathon because it's for Python. Without him, we wouldn't have a podcast. Well, probably, but I don't think anyone would want to listen to an hour or two of me going on about. God almighty, could you imagine? What a fucking disaster that would be.
Right.
Without him, we wouldn't have a host with a webcam. That's true, yeah. We'd have two no image available. Blame Amazon. It's their fault.
To kind of wrap things up in a nice little bow, we gotta shout out the usuals. Go ahead and follow the Twitch channel if you haven't already. We do have events coming down the pipeline, as well as one happening today. We have we have our Discord. Go ahead and plug yourself into the matrix there. We have our website, MetalGearSpeedrunners.com. And we have our Twitter at MGSpeedrunners. And we've also, actually, while I'm at that, we do have a YouTube page.
Yeah, please subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, we do have it.
If it's a toss-up between following this channel and subscribing to YouTube, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want 100 subscribers on our channel so I can change the damn URL. Custom one, because YouTube are idiots these days, and I don't know why you have to have 100 subs to change the link. It's like so ridiculous. It'd be like Twitch imposing a rule that you have to have 100 followers to get a custom link, you know? It'd be pretty stupid, but
yeah,
Google.
Any highlights from this channel? All of the previous podcasts are there. So if you've missed any and you wanna if you wanna go back and take a listen to any of those, they're all there. Or
they're also on SoundCloud as well, by the way.
Oh yeah, and iTunes still coming soon.
Yeah, that's Jesus Christ, dude. We expect to hear back by about Christmas 2022.
So got a lot of avenues. We do have a lot of things that we're trying to do. We're trying to plan.
Yeah.
So stick around, join the Discord, learn a game, have fun.
Learn all of them.
Learn all of them.
Just do it. It's not hard.
Challenge my anthology time, please.
Yeah, do it. God damn it. Or just learn the 3 HD collection runs and challenge that time.
There you go.
That one's too easy to do.
That one's the HD collection run is actually easy to beat as long as,
and it's a bit more fun as well, I think, than like MGS 5, you know.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, well, everyone actually learn Peace Walker. Do that.
Do that. Yeah.
And also, I should say, the iTunes thing, it's not just we're being lazy and not submitting it or anything. We submitted it. It's Apple. It's literally nothing we can do. So if you're like thinking, hey, why isn't it on iTunes, you lazy bastards? It's not our fault. It's nothing to do with us. So
yeah, that's I think that's about gonna wrap it up for us. Again, stay tuned. The Rays tournament continues directly after this. Just give us a short intermission. We'll be swapping some things around. Raichu's got some practicing to do. And
practice, to be honest.
So we'll see you guys next time, 2 weeks from now for episode 5.
Peace.
Right. So all right. So I guess Gooby and I have to live up on our promise. So
I gotta play the instrumental to it. Or you know what? I'm just gonna play the regular Poke rap.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do the one that has lyrics on the screen.
I'm gonna turn down the
that's loud.
game audio.
Alright, you want me to send the video I'm using for this?
I'm just using... yes, and you know what? Send it to me, Gooby.
Okay.
By the way, one quick thing of note. The time that I got was 1:31:12. I don't know what the restream got, but that's what I got on my personal timer that I'm using.
Alright, so... Alright.
You ready?
Alright, you ready?
I'm ready.
Wait, is this the one with lyrics, or are you using your own lyrics?
This is the one with lyrics. This is just the original. I got the lyrics up on another tab.
Right, I'm gonna use the video that has the lyrics.
Okay.
This is gonna be a train wreck. Holy cow.
Exactly.
Alright.
But Ness has to twerk to this now.
I'm not getting out of my chair.
Alright, you ready, Gooby?
I'm ready.
Alright.
Alright.
3, 2, 1, go. To be the best there ever was. To beat the rest, yeah, that's my cause. Electro, Diglett, Nidoran, Mankey, Visceral, Rattata, Fearow, Pidgey, Victini, Jolteon, Dragonite, Ghastly, Grimmon, Poliwrath, Butterfree, gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Across the land, look far and wide. Release from my hand, the power that's inside. Rid of Poliwag, Nidorino, Golduck, Grimer, Moltres. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all.
Can you guys
Catch
please
'em all.
omit Mr. Mime?
Pokemon.
Mr. Mime doesn't exist.
Zubat, Primate, Meowth, Onix, Geodude, Rapidash, Magneton, Snorlax,
Gengar, Tekla, Goldeen, Zero, Weezing,
Poke.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Catch
Gotta
'em
catch 'em
all,
all.
Pokemon. Turtle, Persian, Paris, Horsey, Kit Magmite, Kyber, Weeping Bell, the Roaster, Patpy, Chantru, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Golem, Pikachu.
At least 150.
150 or more to see. Pokemon Master Race of Destiny.
Someone better clip this.
That much okay. On Hypno, Octopus, Flareon,
Oh.
Blastoise, Probably World, Oddish, Drowsy, Raichu,
Rose,
Nidoqueen,
Starmie.
Rosebud,
We're at the halfway point.
Doing great so far. What's all this wee stuff? I'm doing all the
Doing all the work.
break times
Medpod,
over.
Marowak, Kona, Fairy, Deedro, Seadra, Volprum, Krabby, Rodras, Weedle, Nidoran, Machop, Shelda, Porygon, Hitmonchan.
Gotta catch 'em all. Yeah. Catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Nidorino, Nidorino, Beedrill.
Haunter,
Pokemon.
Squirtle, Chansey, Pokemon, Mark, Yukon, Pidgeotto,
At least 150 or more to see to be a Pokemon Master is my destiny.
Charizard,
Perchop,
Machamp,
Venusaur,
Pinsir,
Coffee,
Koffing,
Golbat,
Kokoro,
Staryu, Magikarp.
Pidgeot.
There's Weekend,
Ninetales, Ekans,
Tentacle, Dragonarn, Magma.
Well, catch your breath, man. Shake out those lips. It's downhill from just
24 more to go.
Now it gets tricky, so listen real good.
Stretchrush, Hitmonlee, Psyduck, Arcanine,
Pokemon.
Durzord, Kubotop, Zapdos, Mr. Mime, Cubone, Roto, almost home.
Mine, that was so bad.
Please
Gotta
end.
catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Yow. Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
Pokemon.
Ow.
Chameleon, Ward,
Wartortle.
Turtle, the two tentacle, Dactyl,
A night.
Slowpoke, Pidgeot, Arbok. That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Gotta catch 'em all.
all.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Catch 'em all. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Ooh, catch 'em all. Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon!
On stream. Ow.
Merry Christmas. I've embarrassed myself once. Well, that's twice. Please, if somebody does clip that, please send it to me because that's 100% comedic value I want to save. That's
Send
gonna
it
be
to
played
me
at my.
too.
That's gonna be played at my funeral. Me and
I need
Gooby are
to-
friends for life now.
We are. I
Amen.
need that. Absolutely beautiful.
All right. Damage.
But it could in real life, so don't ever smoke.
Coming
Wow.
from a smoker. Actually, I think there's 3 of us on here, but oh well.
Shut up.
Smoking's
Whoa.
bad, kids. Sergeant General's warning.
Sergeant General.
Yeah, did you just say
General-
Sergeant General?